Hey everybody, welcome to today's weekly update with myself, Sarah Lean. Now today I am super grateful that you have tuned in because I really need you. I need your feedback and I need your input. So I am starting to look at how I can change up my YouTube channel and what I do in terms of the podcast as well. I've been doing this pretty much since July 2019 non-stop. The weekly updates, obviously as you see, the numbers are incrementing and we are well approaching that 100th episode. And in between then, I've done some content and started the strategy of releasing videos every Wednesday as well. However, I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed by the amount of content and things that I have and commitments that I have on my schedule at the moment. And what I'm trying to do is clear that path and think about what I want to achieve in the second half of 2021, because let's face it, we're approaching the end of May and before we know it, we will be on those countdowns to the end of the year, to Christmas and the likes. So I'm starting to think about how I want to approach things differently, especially since Microsoft are starting a new financial year in July, and basically that's a clean slate. We can start again, and I want to start to focus on doing maybe less content in a way, but also thinking about content as a series and thinking about how everything links together. I've been really learning about my craft on creating content and how I interact with the audience and how I deliver the right kind of content. So I want to take a step back for a few weeks and look at how to turn all the ideas that I have on bits of scrap of paper or on my whiteboard over there and actually form them into actual ideas. So that might mean that you see less of me for a couple of weeks, but hopefully when I do come back, there's going to be a stronger focus on content and a stronger lead into what I'm actually trying to create. Now that is where I'm grateful for you for tuning in. I really need your feedback today. I really need your feedback on things that you love, things that you hate, things that you wish I would do better or do more of on this channel. So please do hit up that comment box. Please do interact with me. What I'm hoping to do is dial back the amount of content that I do, but what I'm going to keep doing is these weekly updates because I do love the cadence that I have got into, and I do love the fact that doing these weekly updates for yourselves help me keep up to date with all the news, so I get to find out what's been happening as well and stay fresh around that. So I'm not going to be stopping these Friday updates. They will probably change in format, to be honest, over the next few weeks, although I do have something in mind for the 100th episode, so that's still going ahead. But yeah, tell me what you like. What do you like about this channel? What do you like about my video format? What do you like about the weekly updates? Do you like the fact that I cover the news and I also cover other things as well? Do you hate that? Please be honest. Please tell me what you need as an audience. Please do hit that comment box up. I really do need your interaction here to help make sure that I am heading in the right direction and I'm not going off on some crazy weird idea. So yeah, please interact with me today in this session. Please, 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 please. Because it's going to help me. It's going to help me grow as a person, help me grow as a cloud advocate, and grow as a content creator as well. So this is a two-way path. I'm helping you, hopefully, with these updates, and I really need your help as well. So yeah, get into that comment section and I promise that I will read every one of them and answer every one of them as well. So let's see how we can grow together as a channel, as an audience, as a community, and make everything a little bit better for everybody around the world as well. So let's get into the news this week. I'm going to switch over camera and show you some of the news as well as tell you what's been happening. So the first bit of news that I want to cover off is Azure Bastion and the feature that now went generally available, and that is VNet peering support. Now, I think we talked about this when it was actually announced at, I think it was Ignite earlier this year. And this now allows you to actually use the Bastion that you have set up across different networks. So if you have VNet peering across your different subnets and your networks and your environment, you no longer have to have a separate Bastion box for each of those networks. You can have one, and then as long as that VNet peering is in place, the Bastion can get across and actually start to use some of the virtual machines and interact with the virtual machines. So this is pretty cool because it supports a lot of that hub and spoke methodology that a lot of you have adopted with your cloud formations. And it also helps save some money, because if you had multiple Bastion boxes all over your environment, you were paying for all of those. So trying to avoid extra costs is a great thing. So definitely look at this feature in more detail and see if potentially it can actually enable you now to use Azure Bastion, because there's support for VNet peering. Or if you can maybe delete some of your Azure Bastions and maybe use one central point of view for everybody to use that box. So definitely look at that, and it's good that it's went GA, so yeah, it's safe to use within production environments now. Now, the second bit of news is around Windows Virtual Desktop and Internet Explorer 11, so IE 11, and at the end of September, so 30th of September 2021, that's this year, there will no longer be support for using IE 11 with Windows Virtual Desktop Web Client. This is obviously a key one to take note of if you're still using IE 11 or it's still rolled out onto your corporate machines, and potentially your end users are actually using it even though you have suggested that they use Microsoft Edge or another browser there. So make sure that this is something that is in your communication plan, that in your strategy if you're using the Windows Virtual Desktop Web Client and you still have IE 11 kicking about in your environment, because after the 30th of September 2021, that will no longer be supported. Now, this is something that may have a lot of impact for some of you. This is something that we're trying to do to improve the features and functionalities. Microsoft Edge delivers security updates all the time. I'm not sure we're even getting security updates for IE 11, so there's a potential attack surface there if that's what you're using. And let's face it, IE 11 is an old browser. I think it's been around since 2013, so it's definitely had its time. It's a well-served browser. With Microsoft Edge, we have different things around web client performance, features around transfer of files, microphone redirection, all those kinds of things are kind of baked into Microsoft Edge, and the teams are working together in terms of making sure that Microsoft Edge is compatible with Windows Virtual Desktop Web Client, and vice versa. The Windows Virtual Desktop team are also working towards a clearer view with Microsoft Edge. So again, have a look at this, make sure it's in your strategy plan, because this is happening this year, September 2021. So it's definitely not one that you want to miss out on. So the next bit of news that I want to cover is some new modules or learning path within Microsoft Learn. Now, Microsoft Learn is a free learning platform that you can use to help gain some skills and study towards exams. The new module or new pathway that has now come out is this Operate and Maintain Azure Stack HCI. So there's 4 modules in this new learning path. You've got one around managing your HCI clusters. You've got one around integrated Azure services with Azure Stack HCI. You've got virtual machine workloads. And there's also one around Azure Kubernetes service as well within Azure Stack HCI. So definitely help you skill up on Azure Stack HCI, understand the key features of it, understand where it could potentially be leveraged within your environment and the benefits from it. So have a look at this and make sure that you are keeping up to date with everything that's happening and you understand all of these cool new technologies that we have out there. So as I said at the very start, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave your feedback for me, leave your comments, leave your suggestions, interact with me. And if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe, because I might be taking a small break from creating content on YouTube, but I will be back. So it's definitely worth it while smashing that subscribe button and also the little notification bell as well. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a good weekend and I will catch you next week.